Hello, welcome all to a new series. Hopefully that I can stick with here. Today we're trying Umineko. Um, that's one that's been on my list for quite a while now, a couple of years. I've had people in real life and Discord online recommend it to me personally. It's something that I've been meaning to play for quite a while, but never got around to. Uh, I did a couple months back play a few hours of it though. So quick disclaimer: this episode, I think I'm just gonna call it like episode 0 or something. Is going to be me catching up to the little tiny bit that I did play as a refresher that I did, several months ago. And after that, everything after this episode will be blind. Um, I I've seen, a couple character designs outside of the characters I got introduced to in the first few hours of the game. Um, I've seen, Beatrice's character sprite, and I've seen characters with stranger color hair than what was presented as like the normal. I have seen a few characters. That's about all I know. I think the game is going to be uh, murder mystery kind of thing, maybe, um, with some magic and witches involved. I mean, I'm just like saying shit here. I don't know anything about this like at all. I got introduced to the family, and I got up to the point where Grandpa didn't come down for dinner, and everyone was talking about the family wealth um, in a separate room just after that. I think I played like 3 hours. I don't know. So I'm going to refresh myself here in this initial episode 0. You're welcome to, stick around for here, or feel free to just skip through this because this first episode will be the only one that's not blind. So, I completely understand if you just want to blow past the stuff that's not blind. But it's more just for me, just to recollect everything that I saw, and get back into things again. Usually, when I take a break from a game for a little while, I like to restart. Uh, my memory's not so great, so I always like to refresh myself on everything that I had already read. So yeah, I think we're just gonna start here. Let's see. Episode 1. Now, I know this is a long one. I know Umineko is a behemoth of a visual novel. So I'm going to, give it my best try to stick with it and push through here and see what we can do as far as recording my entire playthrough. I had tried once with Muv-Love, and utterly failed after losing some recorded episodes, and then ended up just reading that on my own. Making a solid attempt here to not do that again would be preferable. Let me just check and make sure everything's going good here. Okay. Alright. So, we're going to play through the first few hours here in this initial thing again. Get refreshed on everything I had read before, and then we'll move on to new content. So again, if you want to just go to episode 1, it's completely fine. I think I want to... sorry, I should have done this ahead of time. I want to... Can I increase the speed of the... Can I not increase the text speed? Am I blind here? What am I doing? Is there nothing for text speed? Did I miss it? It's going a little slow. Let's see. Okay, sorry about that, guys. Was just trying to figure out how to change the text speed here. And the controls on the title screen do not help with that. It says to use 1, 2, 3, and 0, and those do not help me. So it's not a big deal. I'll just deal with it. No problem. All right. So we will begin now. The old physician lets out a sigh as he removes the stethoscope. 2 elderly men could be seen in the dimly lit study, which was filled with dust and a sickly sweet stench. Now that stench, I believe that's... I remember distinctly them constantly describing that bright green alcohol, almost like it looks like poison. That's something I do remember them bringing up time and time again during the few hours I did play. In the corner of this room, which was much larger than what most people would call a study, was an expensive-looking bed, a man undergoing a medical examination, and the physician conducting it. There was also what appeared to be a servant watching over the whole scene. Grandpa Kinzo. As the man bearing his chest for the stethoscope rearranged his clothes, he spoke unapologetically. Yeah, Grandpa doesn't have much time left, if I recall. Not gonna happen. Ushiromiya. I didn't remember the last name. Ushiromiya. Kinzo Ushiromiya. Oh, just a few drops of water. Much better. Genji Ronue? Not sure how to do that. I have to hear them say it. After eyeing both the master who demanded the alcohol and the family doctor who forbade it, Genji, the old butler, silently gave a slight nod and carried out his master's orders faithfully. Let me move this. The family doctor, Nanjo, let out a deep sigh once again as he watched the butler busy himself alongside the liquor cabinet. There was a smell filling up the room. This sweet, poisonous aroma felt as though it melted the heart, if not the soul itself. I wonder if there's something with that. Like, they draw so much attention to the strangeness of his alcohol of choice. It was the smell of that venomous green drink that the man couldn't bear to part with. Nanjo, お前は私の長きにわたる親友だ。今日まで私を長らえさせてくれたことを深く感謝する。私は何も医者としての忠告など金蔵さんは全く聞いてくれませんか。No voice for this one? ならば愛子というものだろう。親方様。すまぬ。薬は切れても死にませんが、こいつが。I find the family symbol they have on like all their clothes that I saw in a lot of the character designs interesting. Like the whole similar patterns that they have for the family and the staff on their clothing. Disregarding Nanjo, who had his face set in a resigned expression, Kinzo took the glass that Kenji was holding out to him. Very few people would associate that venomous color with an alcoholic beverage. I imagine it's something like slightly darker than lime green or something, like just a neon-looking strange color.
正直に話せ。私の命はあとどの程度持つ。
Well, less if you keep drinking your liquid poison, buddy.
どのくらいと申し上げれば、そのお酒を控えてくれますやら。
Yeah. Nanjo once again let out a sigh of resignation. Then he finally spoke to Kinzo, as the latter swirled his glass.
長くはありませんな。どの程度に長くないというのだ。このチェスで例えましょう。金蔵さんの詰めもなかなかですが、私のキングを追い詰めるには至りますまい。
Oh, what am I doing? Nanjo's gaze was directed at a side table with a massive chess set placed on top of it. Judging by the positioning of the pieces, the game seemed to be entering its final stage. Black's rook and bishop were cutting deeply into the enemy lines. White's king had already been castled and cornered, so that even an amateur could see that the match would reach its conclusion before too long. Every time Nanjo came to give a medical examination, both of them would make a few moves. Nanjo was hinting that Kinzo would most likely fall into his eternal sleep before the game could be concluded. These were less the words of a physician than they were the words of an old friend.
普通の患者になら遺言を書くよう勧める頃です。遺言とは何だ何十。私の屍をどのように食い散らかせとハゲタカどもに指南する書き置きなのか。
Yeah. Definitely got the impression he's not. He's either never been super big on his family, or he's become delirious to the point where, you know, he's just not all there in his head, and he disregards his family because of that. Or he kind of sees the greediness in them. Like the very last scene I played, that started to come out, I think.
遺産分配のことだけを書くものじゃない。ほう、遺産分配以外に書くこととは何なのか。心残りややり残し、受け継いでほしいことや伝えたいこと、何でもいいんです。
Yeah.
受け継いでほしいことや伝えたいことだとバカバカしい。この後ろ宮金蔵、後に残したいことも伝えたいこともただの一つもないわ。裸一貫で生まれた。そして裸一貫で死ぬ。バカ息子どもに残したいものなど何一つないわ。
At least in the state of mind he is now, he does not care much for his children or grandchildren. I don't know if that's always been a thing. Or if it's a result of his current not so great state of mind.
それらは私と共に築き上げられ、私と共に失われよう。後に残してやるものなど何もないわ。何もない。あとは野となれ山となれ。墓も棺も何も望まぬわ。
Doesn't care about what he leaves behind, just what goes on in life. Or, okay. Oh, jeez, I had forgotten about this. Okay. I don't have any context for this, but I do remember him mentioning that he made some sort of deal. And that deal might have something to do with the success that he had in life. After reaching a furious crescendo, Kinzo suddenly slumps over. His expression was limp and feeble, as though an evil spirit had possessed him and then left.
未練がある。残すものは何一つないが、残したまま行けぬものが一つだけある。
それを書き記せばいい。もちろん生きているうちにこなせればそれでいい。だが万一の時、残された者がそれを引き継いでくれる。自分に万一があっても必ずその心残りが解決できるように残していく。それが遺言というものです。
When Nanjo tried to gently pat Kinzo's shoulder, the dying man flew into a sudden rage and batted away Nanjo's hand.
ダメだダメだダメだ。
Yeah, I mean, we see a little bit of this here, but from what I did play, I do remember he was acting a hell of a lot more just out of it and gone before the dinner that everyone was about to have. The first dinner when everyone had gotten to the island. When he refused to come out of his room, it was even worse than this.
だから全ては私が生きているうちでなければならぬ。だから遺言状など私には必要ない。
Again, no context for this, but it's obviously
そ
important.
のようなものを書く暇があったなら、あったなら、私
It almost seems like,
は見たい。
well, that almost makes it seem like he regrets what he did. You know, if he sang, he seems to not be happy with his current predicament. Like maybe he regrets making whatever deal he did. If I had a chance.
もう一度見たい。ベアトリーチェの微笑む顔がもう一度見たい。
Or maybe he's just more infatuated with... I assume Beatrice is who he made the deal with. Or Beatrice, if you will. Yeah, he doesn't seem... Beatrice is the one who was in the painting in the house, I believe, and the one that was just in his room as well. I think we saw in the background a moment ago. But she like has him enchanted somehow. He just seems like nothing else matters but her. I don't know what that's about. Why has he been driven to madness just with the desire to see her one more time? I don't know. And he seems to think that she's just an invisible entity watching him. Which, I mean, could be, but... He just wants to see her one more time. I imagine the butler and the doctor are very weirded out by this outbreak. Like, what the hell are you talking about, bro? Beatrice! Oh my god. I love the voice acting. He just went like so ham with it. That's great. Oh. I don't know if this is the old OP or the remake that had no spoilers. Either way, it's not the spoilery PS3 OP, which I wanted to avoid. Okay, it has the new sprites. So it's not the original OP, but it's not the spoiler reel. That's what I was going for. That's what I wanted to get. I assume this was made by whoever did the translation. Oh my god. Seeing, what was her name, Maria? With like fucking blood on her face? The fuck is that about? Jesus Christ. Rokkenjima? Is that the name of it? I've forgotten already. Oh, right. This takes place in 1986. Forgot about that, too. Uroshima Battler-kun. I remember Battler. I couldn't help but scratch my head and marvel at how far things had come in recent years. We used to go by boat. Back then, we were all forced to endure nearly half a day of swaying back and forth over the sea before we reached Nijima. Things have gotten so much more convenient these days. This slow text is really bothering me because it's going slower than I can read. And hitting this 1, 2, 3, it does nothing. I really wish it would go faster. Still, I've never been on a plane this small. I've flown... Oh my god, wait. I started mashing buttons. It's going a bit faster now. Alright, I'm not going to touch anything else to keep it this way. I don't know why it didn't do that the first 100 times I've tried, but perfect. Thank you. Awesome. I've flown in a huge jumbo jet before, but this will be my first experience in such a tiny one. It's going to shake, isn't it? They say smaller boats shake more than big ones, so I guess the same rule probably applies to planes. Just spare me. Good old George. George Aniki. Cousin George. Oh, I remember that laugh too. Wow, yeah, 6 years since they've seen each other. I remember there were circumstances with Battler as far as his parents were concerned and going somewhere else, but I don't remember the details. I like Battler's voice actor. So did the voices play out completely no matter how much is shown on screen? Like if there are several sentences that need to be shown with enter, do they voice it all before you hit enter completely? No, I don't think so. But sometimes it seems like. Maybe I'm just crazy. Yeah, he's... It's taller than you, George. I puff out my chest proudly. Until I hit my growth spurt, my height was below average in my class. But then I grew and grew, and before I knew it, I passed 180 centimeters. I guess I have all that muscle training and those shady mail order performance enhancing drugs to thank for that. What the? Mail order performance enhancing drugs? What? Before then, I never dreamed that I'd shoot 10 centimeters above George Aniki, who reached his peak height early on. Damn. I'll bet my relatives all say, "Look how big you've grown, Battler-chan," or something like that. It's also embarrassing. I wish they'd just give me a break. Anyway, my name, Battler. Well, it's pretty damn weird, don't you think? I mean, yes, even in an English sense, yes, Battler is a very weird name. I don't know how, like, if it's weirder in Japanese or not quite as weird in Japanese. I've got to wonder what my parents were thinking when they named me that. I've never met anyone who could read it right the first time. Okay, here we go. We're going to about throw in some kanji that I can't read. I usually get called Sento-kun. Sorry, but that's not even close. My name is written like that. Can you read it? No. The first part of my name, family name, Ushiromiya. Ushiromiya. What am I doing? Ushiromiya. That's fairly plausible Japanese pronunciation so far. The problem is my given name. That is made up of characters for fight and person, and pronounced battler. Well, I mean, fight, person, battler, I mean, makes sense. Put it all together and you've got Ushiromiya Battler. Pretty crazy, right? It's crazy enough that my parents decided to call me that. But it's even more crazy that some government worker let them make it official. Both groups are at the top of my must-kill list. Oh, Battler, you're a good guy. You don't have a must-kill list. You fucking... Anyway, this is one of my cousins. His name is that. Pronounced Ushiromiya George. He's 5 years older than me, so he must be turning 23 this year. Okay. Battler's 17 or 18? Since the Ushiromiya cousins consist of 2 boys and 2 girls, I ended up playing with George all the time. And because I've always thought of him as a big brother, I still call him Aniki today. Hideyoshi. Hideyoshi Ushimiya. Whoa, okay. That's not a line I'm supposed to be reading. Hardly recognize Im. I do like this awesome uncle here. He's really great. And I also really liked Eva. But then she started like the one scene I left off with a couple hours from now, when she like pointed that fucking fan at the oldest son's wife and started like literally just telling her off like, "Oh, fuck you, you're not part of this family, you don't have any say in this shit." Oh my god, it was a scary side of her that I didn't think I'd see. Everyone's so innocent here in the beginning. Everyone's so like nice and friendly. But I'm predicting that's going to change a lot. Well, at least especially with the siblings. The siblings of the actual family. I don't know if the people each of the siblings married are going to have that kind of side to them. Also, the tattoo. Interesting. I mean, I already commented about the clothes and stuff, but I don't know if the tattoo is like a necessary family thing or what it's about. Best uncle, man. This guy is a bro. Hideyoshi is a bro.
そして虎視眈々とチャンスを待ってドカンと開花させるんや。わしもまさか今日 会社社長なんて一国一城の主になる。そうや。あの無一文の焼け野原がわしの原点なんや。
This stout, plump old guy, wow, rude, is George Anaki's dad, Uncle Hideyoshi. He's the husband of Dad's older sister. In other words, we're not blood related. He's nice to children, sociable all the time, and even quick to give out some spending money to us kids. Simply put, he's an awesome uncle. That's what I said. He seems like one. He speaks in an odd, very noticeable Kansai dialect, but he's actually a natural-born Kanto man. Apparently, impressions are everything in the business world, so speaking in a different style than other people is an act that makes him stick out more. However, I hear he gets embarrassed when talking with an earshot of a real Kansai person, so he switches back to standard Japanese. I don't really get it, but he's definitely an interesting person.
すぐ自分の自慢話に入っちゃうのがたまに傷なのよね。およしなさいな。バトラ君、耳にタコができちゃってるんだから。ねえ。
そんなことねえっすよ。でも、
Everyone's so nice to each other. I feel like this is going to change so much. Just like,
語れる武勇伝があるってのは男としてかっこいいこと
I'm
だと思います
predicting the
よ。
tone is going to get dark and everything is so happy right now.
俺なんか語るような話は何もないっすからね。
あらそうバトラ君なんかそのルックスでいっぱい女の子を泣かせてそうだからさぞかし武勇伝が多そうだと思ったんだけど。
うわあだだだだだ。情報弾じゃないっすよ。そんな妙な武勇伝あるわけないじゃない。むしろ
Oh my God.
紹介してほしいくらいっす。
It's like our wish.
あらあるんでしょ武勇伝。おばさんにも後で教えてね。
Oh my.
ジョージったらそういう浮ついた話が全然ない。
Damn. Okay, wait, so I was hearing the thing go off. So this is filling up. So I did fill this completely up to the point where I got... Oh my god. Not those fucking sprites, please. Wait. Did I... Okay, I think I did it, okay. But I've seen other characters in the game aside from the ones here. Obviously, with the 100+ hour game, there'd be more than just this many characters. But I don't know if this is going to be expanded upon or something. Like maybe this part will like move out and there'll be more characters, or if we'll only have the main family tree and the 5 staff members here the whole time. Because like I said, I have seen art of other characters. So I know there are other characters in the novel. I just don't know if they'll be represented in a sort of like informational kind of way like this. It's interesting. It kind of reminds me of Fate Stay Night's pause screen where you can go and get information on all the characters you've seen so far, and they kind of fill in as you've learned about them. So yeah. This is George Anaki's mother, Aunt Ava. She's my dad's older sister. She and Uncle Hideyoshi are a pair of jokers, and they've always teased me back as far as I can remember. This sometimes made them a bit hard to get along with when I was small. Well, I guess the events of the last 30 seconds prove they can still be hard to get along with. Well, not Uncle Hideyoshi. He's a cool-ass motherfucker. Like, everyone else, I mean, yeah, they're teasing. But Uncle's, he's a bro. I mean, come on now. Even so, George Anaki's family is interesting and fun, and they seem to get along just fine. Sheesh. That pretty much is the total opposite of my family.
バトラ君
Oh, is this, Kairi is the stepmom, I
ルドル
think?
フさんを見なかった？
Rudolph.
あ、さっきお手洗いに行くのを見ましたけど
Rudolph is dad.
まだ出てこないんすか？こりゃぽっくりいっちまったかな。ナムナムナムナム。
This is an interesting outfit with the like the diamond holes showing off the skin in the shirt.
自分のお父さんにそんな言い方はないでしょ。まあ、あの人のお手洗いが長いのは今に始まったことじゃないしね。
ああ、アンニャルは昔っからそうです。
Just
雑
needs
誌
his
持ってトイレ
privacy.
に入るのやめてほしいんすよね。何の雑誌持ち込んで何をしてんだか。
Oh my.
あら、そんな心配は全然不要よ。
Alright, this is probably something Battler doesn't want to hear.
そんなこと一人でさせやしないもん。
Yeah, this is too much information for poor Battler. Oh, he doesn't seem to think so. Okay. No, why? Why would you want the juicy details about your dad like that? That's not. Oh my god. Oh my god.
握っとかないとどういうことになるかよくわかってるでしょ。
Stepmom's got some.
あのクソ親父の手綱はキリエさんにしか無理っすよ。実の息子の俺も喜んで譲っちゃいますわ。
I don't remember what happened to his mom, or if it was even said during the couple hours I played.
ええ、任せてちょうだい。そういうの得意なのよ。
This woman is my father's wife. Her name is Ushiromiya Kairi. As you can probably tell from our conversation, she's not my real mother. She's basically my stepmother. My real mom died 6 years ago, and Kairi is the woman Dad married afterwards. It's understandable for someone my age. I can never bring myself to call his new wife Mom. And I doubt she feels like using the word son on this massive kid who has no relation to her at all. We aren't little kids. We know there's nothing to be gained by fighting. So we decided that we wouldn't force ourselves to pretend that we're family. I've decided to act a bit more frank with her, acting as though she's a friendly neighbor instead. It's much easier if we just keep a little distance, instead of forcing ourselves to act all close and making each other uncomfortable. Kairi-san has always been very open about this, and thanks to that, we've always been able to get along pretty well. Interesting. Then, just when we were bad-mouthing Dad about being in the bathroom, the man himself came back, wiping his hands with a handkerchief. Dad's got that look. You know what I mean? He's just got that, like... He's got, like, that Giovanni from Pokemon look. Like, he almost looks like he's the villain. He's got a scary voice, too. Oh, my God. Rudolph. Talking trash. I mean, he calls her mom, even though Battler doesn't consider her quote-unquote mom. Oh. Really? How does Dad know that?
失礼なこと言ってごめんなさいって言ってみろ。
冗談じゃねえぜ。そういうのは会員制のお店でやりやがれってんだ。だから
Oh my God. This is bordering on abuse. The poor man's ear is gonna rip off. This old bastard is my dad. Well, I think I'm pretty tall myself, but Dad's just about as tall as I am. It's no surprise Aunt Eva started talking about Dad's blood when she saw my height. By the way, my height isn't the only thing I got from him. It seems having weird names runs in the family. Dad's full name is written like that. You can't read it, can you? No, I can. How did you know? I cannot. I can't believe they knew. Come on, it's just that. I mean, that's not helping. Anyway, this guy's name is pronounced Rudolph. Haha. He must hate grandfather for giving him that name. I mean, aren't you not a big fan of Battler as well? It's just the family tradition after, you know, Battler, you're going to have to name your kids something weird as fuck as well, just to continue it. Still, that's no reason to pass that weird naming tradition on to me. That's the old bastard twisted my ear all over the place. Aunt Ava stuck up and behind him and grabbed his ear. There you go. Big sister coming around. Put you in your place. He sounds a lot like Battler when he is hurt. That's funny. This scene perfectly illustrated the relationship between the prankster younger brother and the older sister who could deal out punishment to him despite his size. Evanes-san. Oh my. If you know what I mean. Yeah, you're doing her job for her. Oh my god, stop. Don't say it like that. Jesus. Stop. Why would you say that? Stop.
姉貴こそ弟いじめもいいとこだぜ。秀吉兄さんもこんな姉貴を拾ってくれて本当にありがとうございます。兄さんの寛大さがなかったら今
I guess I hadn't realized that in Japanese you can call your step siblings like the spouses of your siblings. Nisan, Nesan. Maybe I'd just forgotten. It's interesting.
弟として申し訳ないです。
誰が売れ残るって？
Unsold. After taking 3 steps back. Oh. Aunt Ava unleashed one of her beautiful high reverse roundhouse kicks. Did she literally attempt and roundhouse kick someone in an airport like lobby? What is going on? Which stopped just a centimeter away from Dad's nose. See, that's what scares me here. These people have a hidden side to them that I don't know yet. Like the only thing I've seen as far as hidden sides go is literally on Ava here, talking so much trash to the eldest son's wife that she like ran out of the room crying. That's like right where I left off. And it was just like, you people are probably all going to be fucked up, aren't you? Like, that's just how I feel. After starting out with Tai Chi Chuan for her figure, Aunt Ava then developed an interest in the Chinese martial arts. After that, she went through karate, taekwondo, capoeira, capoeira? And what is it she's learning now again? Well, anyway, they say a woman's weapons are in her lower body, and that's literally true for Ava. The way she says that. Oh my god. Fucking scary. Like, if you were just reading like a normal like visual novel, you wouldn't necessarily take this like, you would take it with a grain of salt. Like, you'd think, oh, they're just being silly, like it's just adding like a comical little quirk to her character. But I'm worried that this is like something that, this is dangerous. This is something that's going to be important. Like, she's a fucking dangerous woman, I feel like. Maybe they're all fucking dangerous. I don't know. Okay, I just need to take a quick break and I will be right back. Okay, We are back. Sorry, I just needed to take a quick break there. Here we go. Dad, completely unfazed, shrugged and smiled ironically at Uncle Hideyoshi.
わしには兄弟がおらん。
This guy is so
だか
sweet.
ら
He's so
エヴァと
fucking sweet.
ルドルフ君のじゃれ合いを見とると胸がポカポカしてくるん
お
や
ー。
兄弟や家族はほんまにええもんやな。
あら、ジョージ君に弟を作ってあげるという話は
Oh,
ないん
ho,
ですか
ho, ho. I mean,
おいおいキリエ、生まれてくる子の苦労も考えてやれよ。
have another kid after your first kid's 23. That's
よく
man.
この性悪姉貴から生まれて、ジョージ君はあんなにもまっすぐ育ってくれたもんさ。
I think they all are older than they look then. I mean, to have kids close to 20, like, I don't know when they would have started, but they must have been, like, between, you know, roughly 20 to 30. So they could be approaching, like, even 50, even though they don't look it as far as the designs go. I mean, Dad looks like he could be older, but Aunt Ava does not look like she's approaching, she's like in her 40s to 50s. I don't think.
そんなことないわよ。エヴァ姉さんの教育が間違ってなかったから、ジョージ君はあんなに素直ないい子になったんだから。ですよね、姉さん。
Nea-san.
あらあら、そんな。
That voice sounds really familiar, but I won't know what it is until I look it
ま
up.
だまだ頼りなくって。そうそう。それよりお宅のエンジェちゃんはどんな具合なの？
Who was this?
吐いちゃったって聞いたけど。
Anchi-chan.
そうやそうや。
Wait, does Battler
久
have
し
a...
ぶりに顔が見れると思って期待してたんやで。大丈夫なんか？
いつも季節の変わり目に風邪をひくんです。どうも弱くって、本当は連れてきたかったんですけど、今回は私の実家に面倒見てもらっています。
Wait, did his... Battler's dad and Kyrie have a second child?
それが賢明よ。本家の毒気に当てない方が治りは早いもの。
They're not going to mention that without that coming in at some point. Like... That's going to be important. That wouldn't just be a random...
大人の都合より子
Hmm.
供の病気の方が
Interesting.
大事よ。
わしな、吐く風邪によう効く薬知っとんや。
Vomiting
帰ったら
colds.
すぐ送るさかい。
The worst kinds of colds. The vomiting colds.
ありがとうございます、秀吉兄さん。いつもお世話になりっぱなしで。
And once the conversation suddenly veered off in that direction, we kids didn't have any chance of butting in. I mean, kids, quote unquote. 18 and 23, I guess. Compared to them. For now, I'm just happy Aunt Eva gave Dad his just desserts for tugging on my ear.
まだ天候調査中がなくならないね。
George Anarchy pointed out the counter. The checking weather sign was still stuck next to the departure times for the flight we were scheduled to board. According to Anarchy, smaller planes are more subject to winds and other effects of the weather. And it's not at all uncommon for flights to be delayed because of that. Wait a sec. We are totally sure it's not going to shake, right? From down here on the ground, it looks just cloudy, not windy. Well, what is it looking windy? I mean, you see the trees blow up, but you can't tell how, like, up in the sky if it's windy or not. It can't look windy up, like, in the clouds. Well, I guess it's just different where planes fly. Yeah.
ちょっと天気が怪しいものね。
Aunt Eva looked at the TV in the lounge. The weather forecast was being broadcasted, informing us that a typhoon was approaching the Kanto region.
また台風か。親族会議が毎年10月ってんじゃ。これはもうちょい時期を選んでくれりゃいいのによ。
Is that a classic thing? Everyone always gets typhooned in
どうかね
during the family meeting?
私もお盆の時期にやってくれればっていっつも思うわよ。ならルドルフ、それ今回の会議でお父様と兄さんに提案し。
冗談。兄貴が言えよ。俺が何を言っても兄貴は聞かねえよ。
Okay. I mean, that says something about the two brothers' relationship. They said there's... Right, I have seen the family, but just as a refresher, there's 2 brothers, 2 sisters. So I guess either the oldest brother does not have a good relationship with Rudolph, or it's just how he is. Like, he wouldn't take a suggestion from anyone. I'm not sure which it is.
いやよ、私は別に10月でも困らないもの。ルドルフが台風が嫌だからって言うから提案して言っただけよ。
俺は台風が来るのはいつものことだなって言っただ。お盆の時期がいいって言い出したのは姉貴だぜ。
What about
あ
a
ら
festival?、
去年ルドルフも言ったわよ。お盆の時期なら仕事のスケジュールとも合わせやすいのにって。
言ってねえだろ、そんなことよ。
言ったわよ。
いや言ってねえよ。
Jeez.
言ってんのはいつも姉貴だよ。
知ってる？
Classic
寸止め
sibling
って
bickering.
高等技術なのよ。
Jeez, calm down, please. Oh my god, why are you so ready
いい年した女がはしたないことばっ
Just
か
deck
してんじゃん
someone. Dad and Aunt Ava's argument looked no different from a couple of brats quarreling.
普段は父親や母親として振る舞っていても、こうして親族会議で元の兄弟に出会うと子供の頃の自分に戻っちゃうからだろうね。
と冷静に分析できるジョージ兄貴の方がずっと大人に見えるぜ。俺は将来あんなクソ親父みたいにはなりたくなるなら兄貴みたいな知的な大人になりたいもんだぜ。
Battler strives to be like George. Does he really?
僕なんかまだ
Or
ま
is
だ
he
さ
just being nice?
社会経験が全然足りないし、社交性も度胸も足りない。
How much does he really look up to George, does he?
バトラ君にはそれらのいくつかが
Guess
す
we
で
should
にあ
take
る
him
よ
on
う
his
に思
word
う
for
よ。
it right now.
だからきっと成人したら僕なんかすぐに追い抜いちゃうさ。
George Anarchy scratched his head and laughed as though trying to hide his embarrassment. Of course, he was just being humble. Anarchy entered a university and became an apprentice at Uncle Hideyoshi's company at the same time, studying both academics and how to become a business emperor in parallel. Then, right after graduating, he got into Uncle Hideyoshi's company as his father's aide. Piling up a lot of real-life experiences, he devoted himself zealously to his work. His great dream is to one day stand on his own and build his own kingdom. Anarchy is a real paragon of a man, sparing no effort as he strives towards his goal. It's no exaggeration to say that I really respect him. Okay, so it might be, you know, it's a genuine admiration. It's not like he's not just being nice. And then there's me. Yeah, I don't think Battler has, from what I remember, he's not too self-confident. He doesn't have so much confidence in himself and all that. I don't know. I'm nothing at all like Anarchy. I'm living my happy-go-lucky idle high school life to the max. I've got no dreams for the future. I just like to sit back, stay cool, and let the money flow in, but of course that could never happen. Okay, so maybe it's more like he admires Anarchy, but he's not negative towards his own lifestyle. He just knows it's not a way of living. When Anarchy was my age, he had already formed an impressive objective, and had started devoting himself towards studying for that goal, so I guess I can't compare it all. My dad just says, sure, you can study at my company, if you like cleaning toilets. Designated janitor. Damn it, I'm not going to be in debt to that old bastard. I'll find my way myself. So, doesn't have any, being connected to this family. He's not getting any connections or anything. Although I do remember Battler, like, went away from home for a while. Maybe that's the whole thing. I don't remember what the situation was. They'll get into it during the 3 hours that I played. And I'll be refreshed on it. I mean, that's why I'm doing this again. I don't remember these things. If only willpower was all it took to become an adult. Should I go on one of those self-searching journeys that are all the rage these days? Well, it's not like I can mooch off my parents for that kind of money. Yeah, he's on his own. And I don't know if that's the result of something he did, where he left the family, or if that's just how his dad is. Right then, Uncle Hideyoshi shouted out loudly. He's a really nice person on the whole, but he does have a problem controlling the volume of his voice. When I looked over, I saw that he was greeting Aunt Rosa, who had come late. Oh. Wait, I didn't mean to do that at the same time as him. I just remembered that Maria would be coming a thing again, and I said, oh, like... I didn't mean to at the same time as Uncle Hideyoshi. God damn it. Oh my god, I'm ready for the ooze. Oh, there's the ooze. There's the ooze. Rosa.
お久しぶりです。
So is she still just learning? Also, only the direct bloodline descendants wear... No, stepmom also had something on her clothes as far as, like, the family emblem goes. I wonder if they have tattoos as well, like Aunt Ava does. I was just thinking, like, Uncle Hideyoshi does not have any sort of thing on his clothing as far as the family stuff goes.
そうや、よく言えたな。ご褒美に飴玉あげような。おっと、あれ、どこにしまったんや。
ローザさん、お久しぶりです。マリアちゃんもお久しぶり。
ご無沙汰してます、キリエ姉さん、秀吉兄さん。
And she's the youngest, if I recall.
あら、バトラ君？大きくなったわね。
Yeah, he's been gone for 6 years, I think, of his own choice. So everyone's having a hard time recognizing him. Don't know what happened with him.
遅かったな。飛行機がダイヤ通りだったらギリギリってとこだったぜ。
ごめんなさい。列車の接続がうまくいかなくて。なに？また天候調査中なの？
ぼやかないぼやかない。船で6時間も揺られるくらいなら飛行機でほんの30分の方がずっとマシよ。たとえ1時間余計に待たされたって全然早いんだから。
マリアちゃんも大きくなったで。
I remember Battler not appreciating the boat.
身長いくつあるんや？
Fucking ooze. Oh, it's gonna take a while to get used to the ooze again. Doesn't remember her own height. Wait, I just like went through that without... I'm like forgetting that I need to fucking read when it's not... Okay, it's not a big deal, but yeah. I'm like forgetting that I need to read. I'm just like reading myself, like going through it like, okay, yeah. I'm so used to not reading like a main character's voice, I think, that it's I'm almost like getting too used to the fact of just reading and not even talking.
これでも少しずつは伸びてるんですよね
去年よりもずっと成長したと思いますよ。
So how old
今
is
年
she?
で9歳でした。
9. Turn 9. And in the OP, there was blood on your face, and you just looked like
そうだ
calm.
ね。9歳だね。マリアちゃんも元気そうでよかった。
Ugh.
よいしょ。もう高いをするにはちょっと重くなってきたかな。
Yeah, I mean, 9 years old, you're getting to that age where you're a little large for an airplane. She does not look impressed. Look at that face. She's like, what the fuck are you doing? When I went to lift her up in Aniki's place, Maria stiffened defensively, staring suspiciously at my face. Oh, she doesn't remember Battler. She was too young when she knew him. Ah, that's right. The last time I met Maria was 6 years ago, and she was only 3 years old. Of course she doesn't remember my face. That face of hers, that sprite, I feel like it's going to be used in much different context later. Like, she just looks so, like, I don't know, I don't even know how to describe it. She looks scary. She looks, like, disgusted almost.
バトラ君よ。一緒に遊んでもらったの忘れちゃった？
No, she doesn't remember really.
最後にバトラと会ったのは3つの時だぞ。3つの時の記憶なんか。
You remember that shit. She must know everyone's face apart from mine because she meets them every year. But I haven't had contact with the Ushiromiya family for about 6 years now. So it's no surprise that this 9-year-old girl doesn't have any memories of me. Even I can only just barely remember her being a 3-year-old crybaby.
マリア、バトラお兄ちゃんよ。ルドルフおじさんの息子さん、わかる？兄さんの息子さんが。
Brothers.
兄さんが息子さん。
Yeah, it's a little. Again, I don't like that sprite face because I feel like it gives off a different. I don't know. That ooze sound was probably her brain going into overload at that complicated explanation. I guess the phrasing of that was a bit confusing. Ni or Oni, the title you'd use to refer to an actual older brother, can also be a friendly honorific for a boy who's actually a bit older than you. It's just like Ne or One, the word for big sister.
Maria-chan, 彼はバトラ君。
What did they say in the Japanese of that part? Because clearly they didn't explain simple Japanese stuff. So what were the words before this was translated at that part? I'm curious. Like, that's weird. Like, they just came out and did like a straight English thing. Was that just added? Or was that replacing something else in Japanese? I don't know.
僕と同じいとこだよ。
庄司お兄ちゃんと同じ？
Yeah, he's family. Balor's a pretty cool guy. Come on now.
そう。よくできたね。
This part of Aniki was what made me really look up to him. For someone who isn't married, he's just great at dealing with kids. I'm sure he'll be an indulgent father in the future.
バトラお兄ちゃん？
Yes. Maria looked straight at me with a questioning expression, as though asking whether it was okay to call me that.
おや、俺がバトラだ。よろしくな、マリア。
Nice to meet you again.
こらマリア、呼びつけちゃダメでしょ。バトラお兄ちゃんと呼びなさい。
Don't be rude
いい
now.
っすよ、ロードおばさん。細かいことは気にしないっすから。まあマリア、俺とお前は名前を呼びつけ合う仲だもんな。
バトラバトラバトラ。
Oh, the ooze.
Oh, yeah.
Fucking hell.
Maria, Maria, Maria! Ooh, ooh!
He tried it too. We horsed around for a while to make up for the 6-year gap in our friendship. She probably still thinks of me as nothing more than a big new friend, but things will probably work out as we get to know each other again. But I'm surprised. She's just the way I remembered her being 6 years ago. Seems that people don't change that much after all. I'm a bit happy that she's still the pure, innocent girl I remember. Her name is written like that. Of course. That is pronounced Maria. Of course. The third character looks like a cross, which is pretty cool that it did. Her feelings don't usually show up on her face, so it can be difficult to know just what she's thinking. That's just how she looks on the outside. On the inside, she's just a sweet, normal girl. Yeah, I'm worried about that. Is that really true? She's just a sweet, normal girl. Is that so? Then there's Maria's mother, Aunt Rosa. She's my dad's younger sister. Rosa is written like that. Here's a name that's totally not Japanese. Sorry to say it, but her name's almost as ridiculous as Dad's. Rudolph Rosa. I mean, I guess in Japan, yeah, it's out of the ordinary. I've got to respect her for not ending up as screwed up as he is. When I think about it, all the names in my family sound foreign. Just why is grandfather so obsessed with that? I mean, does this go back to the Beatrice Beatrici thing? He obviously gave up something to receive some sort of success in life that he regrets now. He's like, take it all back. I just want to see you. Like, I don't know what's going on. There's something going on that Grandpa started in this family, I would assume. And the weird naming scheme might just be part of his obsession with Beatrice, who is also, yeah, once again, not a traditional Japanese name. He's just going along that line. I don't know. Anyway, because of him, even we grandchildren have to put up with this weird naming sense. It's even more annoying since grandfather's own name is perfectly normal. Yeah, because it started with him. It started with him and something he did. Anyway, there's one thing about Aunt Rosa that's a relief compared to the other family members. The old bastard and Aunt Eva have this annoying urge to tease and mock people all the time. But even though she shares their blood, Aunt Rosa is not like that at all. She does seem super sweet. She has the most common sense among all the siblings. Like Uncle Hideyoshi, she's a kind aunt who will always be on the kids' side. See, I don't trust this game, so I feel like she's going to be like the worst of them all. Like, I don't even know. However, possibly because she's more strict as a parent, she's not liberal with handing out spending money like Uncle Hideyoshi. Okay, now we have the entire group of family members who are going to board the plane. At that moment, as though it had waited for us all to arrive, an announcement rang through the lobby. Nijima.
ロザ、搭乗手続きまだだろ。急げ急げ。
いけない。マリア、いらっしゃい。
Boarding procedure. We had to go through a metal detector before going out on the runway. I guess it's a bit different than here, where you in the US, comparably, a simple metal detector versus, I mean, then again, this is 86. This is like pre 9/11, pre everything. Different country. Before things got weird. Yeah, I didn't think about that. Yeah, I was only 10 at 9/11, so I don't really remember what the security was like in airports before it. But I guess in the 80s, a mere metal detector wouldn't really surprise me. Now that I think about it. Our small plane wasn't as massive as an international flight, but it was still a plane. And they're at a tiny airport, and they're riding a tiny plane. Yeah, I don't know. A staff member holding a metal detector checked us all. Once all of us cleared the check, we followed the staff member out onto the runway. Come to think of it, everyone here is in the Ushiromiya family. It's like this is a reverse charter flight or something. Our group stopped in front of the entrance to the airplane. Then our guide turned around, spoke, looking down at the passenger list as he did.
これよりご搭乗となります。名簿をお読み上げいたしますので、前方の座席、右側から順に右、左、次の列の右、それではお読み上げいたします。後宮秀吉様。
わしからか？はい。そうだエヴァ、飴玉あるか？さっきから探してるんだが見つからないんや。
You need to have something to swallow like that for your for the pressure. Definitely helps.
ハンドバッグの中よ。
Chewing gum is usually the
機
best
内に
thing.
入ったら出すわ。
I've heard that candies are a good way to protect your ears from hurting because of the variations in atmospheric pressure when landing or taking off. Indeed. That's probably what they're talking about.
俺の席窓際だといいな。
大丈夫だよ。窓際席しかないもん。
It's just a one seat on each side plane. As George Aniki said, there were apparently only 2 lines of seats. So, this is what a small plane is like. We are totally sure it's not going to shake, right? Poor Battler. You're in for a lot.
はい。大丈夫だよ、バトラ君。あんまり揺れないから。
Yeah, you tell him he's still going to be terrified and still going to regret this.
兄貴、あんまりってどのくらいだよ。
Only a moderate amount of shaking.
飛行機が落ちたらそれでおしまいなんだぜ。もちろん客席にはパラシュートがあるんだろ。ねえの？
後宮ルドルフ様。
ほらバトラ、感動してねえでとっとと奥行け。
聞いて親父。
One thing I don't know, randomly thinking, Maria's dad, Rosa's husband. I don't remember anything being said about him, although I could just be forgetting. But, yeah, I don't know what's going on with that.
パラシュートがねえんだよ。
後宮桐江様。
ほら、仲良くじゃれてないの。進む進む。
いてえよキリエ。ボンクラが進まねえんだよ。
後宮
Oh,
マリ
your
ア
own
様。
son, a blockhead, Jesus. I get what they mean by her face not matching her feelings, because sometimes her expression does not reflect what she's, the emotions she's given out of her mouth.
後宮ローザ様。こらマリア、静かにしなさい。
こちらは機長の川端です。本日は新東京航空201便をご利用いただき誠にありがとう。新島空港までは約20分のフライトの予定です。上空の気流が乱れているとの報告が入っています。多少の揺れがあるかもしれませんので、離陸後もシートベルトは外さないようにお願いいたします。
兄貴、シートベルト外しちゃいけない揺れってなんだよ。じゃあ僕やら離陸後はシートベルト外せるぜ。それが外しちゃいけないってどんな揺れだよ。くそー、騙された。何が揺れないんだ。パラシュートはどこだよ。やっぱり俺は船が良かった。
Will Battler's fear of flying come back later in the visual novel, or is this just like a silly little part of a... Oh. Oh. Oh my. Get a title. We're done the prologue, I guess. Starting episode 1. A lot of Ushiromiyas. Oh, Jessica. I remember Jessica. Kraus. And Kraus was the oldest son, if I remember correctly. It's just a quick, it's a, you know, it's a good amount of CG work for like a really quick, skip through montage through the credits towards, starting episode 1. Because it's not really the OP, it's just the... Is Rondo of the Witch and Reasoning what they call the entire questions arc? Or is that just what they call episode 1? I don't know. Oh my god. Poor fucking Battler. She enjoyed the fucking turbulence. Clearly.
マリハ、もういい加減になさい。でも意外ね。バトラ君、てっきり怖いものなしだと思ってたから。
Yeah.
こいつ昔から乗り物がなぜかダメです。
All vehicles? Oh wait, he does have problems in the boat, doesn't he? Oh my god.
情けない男だな、おめえは。
ありゃ、さすがに嬉しすぎだろ。
小型機乗るのは初めてだったからちょいと答えちまっただけだぜ。
Doesn't want his agency taken away from him. He just wants to be... I get it, I get it.
あの大騒ぎでちょいとなの？
Not the same way, but I guess I can kind of understand.
バトラ君とは海外旅行を一緒に行くと賑やかそうね。おばさんとエジプトとか行かない？
She's very
14
like
時間も飛行機に乗れるわよ。
14 hours. Ugh, that sounds awful.
いい提案ね。バトラ君、エヴァ姉さんに少し鍛えてもらいなさいよ。それにしてもおかしい。
All right, stop teasing the poor boy.
こらこら、人間誰
Yeah,
しも
okay.
生きて増えて
Uncle
はるもんや。
Hideyoshi, the man
そ
here.
ない笑うたら悪いで。
Oh, wait, you're laughing too.
父さんも
Okay.
笑うのはまたほら
You, George.
マリアちゃんももう笑っちゃダメ。
もう笑っちゃダメ？
Oh my god, the ooze. God damn it. Is being scared of planes really such a big deal? Everyone obviously thinks I'm a big oaf now. Tch. Drove a bit. We split up and took separate taxis from the airport to the harbor. From there on, we would be taking a boat to the island. The islands are right next to each other, so the distance of the trip wasn't that great. By boat, it was a leisurely 30 minutes to the island. I mean, the flight was only 20 minutes, and that traumatized you, so I don't know about that. When we reached the pier, where the boat to the island was anchored, we saw a figure waving at us. Jessica! I remember Jessica. There she is. Well, don't just... What about poor Battler?
いやー、ジェシカちゃん、1年ぶりだね。せ、また伸びたんじゃないかい？
Oh my god.
よしてくれよ。毎年言われんのは恥ずかしいぜ。
おいおい兄貴。
You know, wait. George doesn't have, something on his... Oh, yes, he does. Okay, I didn't see that. I was about to say, George didn't have, like, the emblem or whatever they have on all their clothes, but yeah, he does. He does.
こいつが本当にジェシカなのかよ。
Didn't see that at first with the text box covering over it.
このデカブツバトラなのかよ。
We both stared at each other. She definitely didn't look like that in my memories, but I do remember her crazy way of talking.
いいよジェシカ。
6 years, I mean, yeah, you gotta remember him. 12 to 18? You're missing an entire growth spurt. You're missing everything.
嘘だろ。なに女みたいな格好してんだよ。なんだよこれ胸かよ。
Okay.
お前にも胸なんかできた
Chill,
のかよ。
Battler, please. Cousin. She is your Please.
もまぜろ。
Please, just relax. Just calm down. Calm the D.
ふざけやがれ。私は花も恥じらう18だぜ。髪だって伸びりゃ出るとこだって出るぜ。
At least she's taking it well. She's like, yeah, fuck you. Of course I did, you motherfucker.
バトラこそなんだよ。バカみてえに図体だけでかくなりやがって。知った腕力ついたのか。
ざげんじゃねえ。あれ
I like how smug she's
鍛錬
being.
積んだか思い知らせてやんぜ。
うぜえぜ。返り討ちだ。
This headstrong girl's name is that. She was born under the same unlucky star as me, sharing the same weird kind of name. Anyway, that's pronounced Jessica. She's Dad's older brother's daughter. So she is the oldest sibling's daughter, I believe. Yeah. That older brother happens to be the oldest son of the Ushiromiya family. So for now, it means Jessica is the direct family heir. Okay, yeah, gotcha. Since Jessica and I are at the same age and sometimes had little boy-girl squabbles with each other, we've always been used to fighting and joking around with each other whenever the relatives gather. Jessica grew more quickly, so she always had me beat in terms of size and physical strength. When we scuffled in a contest of strength, it usually went Jessica's way. So even though I realized I'd grown a bit bigger, part of my mind was still convinced that I couldn't beat Jessica. You have that PTSD of her, like, just destroying you.
なんだよ。何マジになってんだよ。いててて。
おいおいおい。全然力入れてねえぜ。
What's he doing?
ジェシカ、お前貧弱になっただろう。
Oh my god.
うるせえぜ。こっちとら女やってんだ。いつまでも腕力で男に勝てるわけねえだろ。
Aw. She looks like genuinely upset.
俺が腕につけた分の肉をお前は胸につけたんだもんな。
Oh my god. Talk about something else, please.
ちょうどいい力比べになりそうじゃねえのか。
Please.
だからお前に揉ませる父はねえ。それよりお前こそどうなんだよ。身長以外にも他のところちゃんと大人になったのか。
Cute little elephant son. Oh my god.
バカやめろ。いやこの野郎お嫁に行けなくなる。変なとこ触んないで。
Jesus.
人様が聞いて誤解すること言うんじゃねえ。
What do you mean misinterpret? That's like directly what you implied. Honestly, I was so surprised at how feminine Jessica had become that I had to joke around like an idiot to hide it. Well, considering what a bossy brat she was 6 years ago, anyone would be surprised. And I guess she's just as surprised. One sec. Okay. She probably wasn't expecting to lose to me in a test of strength. After losing that easily, she must have been shocked at how much I've grown in the last 6 years. 6 years. Once again, I'm being shown just what a huge gap of time that was.
やれやれ。乾杯だぜ。
Yeah, everyone's gone through their growth spurts. I mean, not Maria, but she went from like toddler to 8 years old or 9 years old. I mean, it's everyone must look completely different, and you look completely different to everyone else. It's crazy.
こりゃもう私じゃかなわねえな。
そんなことないよ。バトラ君にもきっと弱点はあるよ。ね、マリアちゃん。
She remembers. Oh my god. That is definitely a weakness. Oh my god.
なんだそりゃ。
あいにくだが、この弱点はジェシカにはもうさらさないぜ。何しろ、悪夢の空路はもう終わっちまったんだ。
Well, you're just giving it away there, Battler.
あとはのんびりチャボチャボとお船の旅さ。あのオンボロ漁船がこれほど恋しくなるとは思わなかったぜ。
No, you're not gonna like it.
ああ、ジョージ兄さん、こいつ頭どうかしたのか。
すぐにわかるよ。すぐにね。
Oh my god. George knows. He's like, oh fuck. Battler's gonna die on this fucking boat trip. At the time, I didn't get what Anakin meant by that big smile. God damn it.
これはこれは。はあ。
Oh.
バトラさんも大きくなりまして。
Who is it this time? It's an old lady with an apron. You know who she is? Oh, yeah, that takes me back. I remember now.
バトラ君、覚えてるかい？
Kumasawa.
熊沢のばあちゃんは忘れねえぜ。何しろこの6年ちっとも老けちゃいねえぜ。むしろ若返ったんじゃねえの？
What a nice guy.
最近はお肌がピチピチしてきちゃって。ほら、胸もますますに大きくなっちゃいましたんですよ。
Calm down. I doubt Battler does.
ご冗談。俺が揉みたいのはピチピチした姉ちゃんの胸限定だぜ。
私とて。
I'm like conflicted. Like, you don't gotta be rude, but also she's being really weird. Fondle to your heart's content. Come on.
勘弁してくれよ。若い姉ちゃんだ、若い姉ちゃん。熊沢のばあちゃんじゃねえよ。
Oh my god. He's just coming out with it. Why did I not? Wait. I didn't even read that. The jokes I cracked about Jessica were being turned against me. Come to think of it, Kumasawa has always been the type to tease people.
監獄に半分足突っ込んだ人がはしゃいじゃいけねえぜ。
One foot in the coffin. Oh my god. Jeez, calm down.
若い方とじゃれるのが何よりの若返りの薬ですよ。
熊沢さんが迎えに来るなんて珍しいじゃん。どういう風の吹き回しかしら。用事を頼まれるといつも腰痛になるあなたが。
Still just gives me problems. Like, I don't even know.
エヴァ様は相変わらず手厳しゅ急なお買い物がありましたもので、そのついでに皆様のお迎えをしようと思いまして。もっともお迎え待ちの老いぼれのお迎えでは景気も悪いでしょうが。
Onteva spoke sarcastically, but Kumasawa Bachan's years of experience were nothing to sneeze at. She was more than capable of smoothly and coolly deflecting the comment. Well, it feels bad to say it, but old Kumasawa Bachan may be past her prime as a servant. She might act as though she's in good health, but between the headaches and her lumbago, her body is wearing out. To tell the truth, the very fact that she's still working is impressive. How old is she this year again? She must be pushing 80 at least. It's incredible that she's still able to act so cheerily.
ますますにお元気なようで。そうだこれ。前に話してたお茶です。ほら、買ってきました。後で飲んでみてください。
Onarosa took a souvenir bag from her suitcase. To think that she remembered a promise that she apparently made last year and faithfully brought it. This sort of thoughtfulness was just like Aunt Rosa. She wasn't the kind of person who would forget or break a promise. Kumasawa Bachan seemed deeply touched, not only because Aunt Rosa had remembered the Sierra promise, but that she would bring a gift to a simple servant like her. This woman is Kumasawa Chiyo-san. Just real quick, let's look. Wait, oh, what did I do? Why did I click that? I meant to go to this. There we go. Okay, so we got the first of the 5 servants filled in. I don't remember who this is here. I know Grandpa's here, and you got 4 children, 3 spouses, and 4 grandchildren. Who this is, I don't remember. Or if I even saw them got filled in. I'm not sure. Not sure. Let me save now, here. Okay. Chiyo-san. She's a senior servant who's been working at the Ushiromiya head family household for many years. As you'd expect from someone her age, manual labor isn't her strong point. But she's kind of a super servant who can handle just about anything else, from kitchen work to cleaning and laundry. It seems like her only flaw is a tendency to slack off. I hear she tries to get away from heavy or troublesome work by playing up her chronic diseases. In Kumasawa's Bachan's case, this is probably a sign of craftiness rather than laziness. Though it probably doesn't impress those paying her salary. Ah well. Even if she's pretty flaky when it comes to work, I can never dislike her. I guess that's probably because of her cheerfulness and constant smile.
いやー、相変わらずお元気そうで何よりでんな。あれから背中の具合はどないでっか?
Hideyoshi, best boy, right here.
薬を飲んでもちっとも良くなりませんで、こればかりはお医者様ではどうにもなりません。
Okay. So she's suffering from chronic pain and all that.
ますます美人になったな。夏日姉さんに似てよかったぜ。
そうですか？私的には全然似てないつもりなんですけど。つうか、親には似たくないです。
Natsui is her mom, I think? I think that's who he's referring to.
尊敬してないんで。
Zero respect.
ほら、そんなこと言っちゃダメよ。
Her mom seemed nice, but distracted. Like, as far as I could tell, her mom seemed... Jessica's mom seemed, like a really good person, but also, very busy with the family to the point where maybe it was unhealthy. I'm not sure.
それにしても、親に似たくないって言ってる人が多いわね。
It seemed like she was really trying a lot for the family, as far as I could tell.
あ、それ俺。バカ言え。お前こそ俺に似るんじゃねえ。お前の鼻が似ててムカつくんだよ。
Pisses me off.
何言ってんのよ。呆れるくらいそっくりよ。あなたもお父様もね。
俺のどこが親父に似てるってんだ?
Wait, what? Oh, okay. Oh, okay, gotcha. For some reason, I was thinking of Battler saying this line, like, how am I like dad? But he means his dad, not, yeah, stupid.
傲慢で偉そうなところとかそっくりよ。あんたと兄さんは特にお父様の血が強いわね。ねえ、ローザ。
Wouldn't you agree, Rosa?
まったく。
I don't like that face on Rosa. That looks like a, I don't know. I don't trust anything, so I feel like these sprites are gonna be used in like much more worse ways later. Like, you have this like such smug, like almost evil look, but she seems like such a kind person. But I can't believe that. I don't know. And all I'm going off with that is on Ava's one outburst she had right before I ended the game that we're playing up to here, where she just destroyed, like absolutely obliterated the eldest son's wife, or Krause's wife. I don't remember her name. Krause's wife. Where it was just like a complete 180 from everything we had seen from her personality so far.
秀吉兄さん、助けてくださいよ。
いやいや、ルドルフ君はいっつも女性にモテ羨ましいで。
相変わらずモテモテでお羨ましいことです。それでは皆様、お船の方へお乗りくださいませ。
Yeah, time for the boat to give Battler more PTSD. Oh my god. My question is she always going to be like this? Is she always going to be doing the ooze? Is this always going to be a thing? Or is she going to like change personality wise? Like, I know I watched the non-spoiler OP, but seeing her with like blood on her face, I don't know. I don't know if she's putting on like a personality or something.
波で揺れるのは慣れてるしな。オンボロ漁船の場合、揺れて怖いってよりエンジンがぶっ壊れて漂流するんじゃねえかって方が怖いぜ。
そうだ、バトラ君、言うのを忘れてた。あの漁船はだいぶ老朽化してたんで数年前に引退したんだよ。今は他の船が島まで運んでくれるんだ。
ああ、そっか。
Oh
バトラ
jeez.
は新しい船が初めてなんだな。
Poor Battler.
快適だぜ。すっげえ速いんだ。
Yeah, freaking
何しろ
fast.
とんでもないスピードが出るんだからさ。
ほう。ってことは、船旅の時間がさらに短
I
縮
mean,
され
in
た。
a way, yeah, you could look at it
そりゃ
like
素晴ら
that.
しい。
Oh my god.
何しろ飛行機よりマシとはいえ沈没の危険にさらされる時間が少しでも短くなるってんだから、こりゃ極めて
You
素
poor
晴らしいぜ。
バトラはまた落ちる
He's
そりゃ飛行機の時だけさ。
yeah.
大丈夫だぜ。
No. It's not
何
okay
しろ
now.
船長自慢の改造高速艇らしいぜ。だいぶいじってるらしく、プロペラは高性能のが
He's got
4
it
機も
all.
ついてて、最高速度は40ノットを超えるとかなんとか自慢してたな。
Oh my god.
いつも自慢されるんで覚えちまったぜ。
僕も毎年聞かされるんで覚えちゃったよ。船長は昔外国の漁船と速度比べをして負けて以来、スピード改造に取りつかれちゃったんだってさ。その時の相手は漁船なのに
Got the racing car of boats ready to take you guys to your island. The
そ
fishing
の
boats,
雪
yeah.
辱の念が結実して、スカッと爽快な超高速改造艇の誕生となったわけさ。バトラもきっと気に入るぜ。
Oh my god. Super high speed modded boat. My first thought was that this would be much better than some beat up boat that might sink at any moment. But for some reason, I got this feeling of foreboding. I wonder why. Probably just overthinking it. Yeah, definitely overthinking it. Yeah.
Oi, バトラー。島まではお 泳いでいった方がいいんじゃねえか。
Rest in peace, Battler.
バトラ君、柵からあんまり身を乗り出しちゃダメだよ。落ちちゃうから。
Well, at least Maria's enjoying it. That's important.
チェックしろー。さっきからみんながニヤニヤ笑ってたのはこれだったのか。
So this is the super high speedboat that the captain started modding. Oh yes, that piece of junk fishing boat from 6 years ago doesn't hold a candle to this guy. Is that the private island? No, there's a lot of buildings on the island. I just saw. Okay, so that's going away from it. Oh, yeah, duh. If you close this, you can see the boat is going away from it. Duh. Okay. Because I was about to say, it's a really big island for like a private island, but I see. The ooze will never get old. Well, I say that, but the ooze could easily get old in a fucking 1 to 200 hour visual novel.
ライフジャケットをくれ。
なんだよバトラー、おめえそれ何の真似だよ。
Jessica's enjoying the show.
バトラ君も
And
怖いな
George
ら
is just
カン
like,
パに
calm
出なきゃいいの
down.
に。船内ならもう少し怖くないと思うけどな。
そいつはサンキューだぜ兄貴。海難事故の犠牲者はいつも船内なんだ。生存者を抱いて事故時は甲板なんだぜ。
There you go. The boy knows his stuff.
でも揺れる。落ちる。
I do like Battler's voice actor. I need to look that up after. Oh my god. The ooze.
マリア、よしなさいったら。でもバトラ君、本当に苦手なのね。船長さんに速度を落とすように言ってきてあげるわ。
Is it like a band-aid? Do you just want to get it over quickly? Oh, I guess not. Okay.
海の上でも安全運転、徐行運転、指差し確認。
Oh my god.
ダメよローザ。青年には試練も必要なんだから。
Jeez, Aunt Rosa, chill.
これくらいへっちゃらで克服できちゃうわよね。じゃないとおばさんとエジプトに行けないわよ。
I mean, you don't need to be on a... You don't need to be on a boat to go to Egypt. You can fly there. And there could potentially be a non-shaky flight with minimal turbulence. So he doesn't need to get used to it, but it would probably be good for him if he did. Oh my god.
繰り返して考えるんだ。敵の狙いは何だ。俺をこうして怖がらせることか。そいつが狙いなら甘いぜ。ビビってなんかやるのか。
Yeah, you tell him. You fucking tell him, Battler.
手をラメ。落ちる。
God. So, after I made a huge fool of myself for a while, Aunt Rosa had a talk with the boat captain, and he slowed down to a more manageable speed for me. Yeah, you take a breath. Take a breath, Battler.
さっきのは生きた心地がしなかったぜ。
I wonder if his fear of just vehicles in general comes from somewhere, or if that's just something that he just has. Apparently the max speed I can tolerate is extremely slow. But that just now was completely insane. The whole boat was shaking, sliding and leaping on the ocean's surface. It felt like I was riding on the back of a flying fish. Jessica was still gawking at me as I leaned against the railing, tired and disheartened.
さっきは力比べで負けたけどよ。もっと重要な部分で負けてなかったことが分かって。
Yeah, she found out his weakness, his fucking weakness. God damn it.
いや、しかし。
Chill, Jessica. Be nice. Be nice to our poor battler here.
いつか弱点を見つけ返して、てめえの胸揉みつぶしてやるぜ。
Alright, also chill. I mean, you don't have to be so stereotypical anime character that you just... Jesus.
見つけられたら考えてやるぜ。
She's fine with it though. She's just like, yeah, why not? Oh my god. Maria throwing down the insults though.
海も空もごめんだぜ。俺は陸の上で死にたいさ。
Maria was patting my back, so I patted her head in return. Her expression was blank as usual, but I realized that she wanted to console me.
バトラ君、船長が罪滅ぼしにってドリンクをサービスしてくれたよ。飲んで一服しないかい？落ち着くよ。
George Aniki and Kumasawa Bachan brought us all ice-cold cans of soft drinks covered with beads of water. Judging from Kumasawa's son's big grin, our parents inside the boat were probably all rolling around laughing at my moment of pure terror. Damn it. I'm so embarrassed. I can't bear to face any of them. If I didn't change the subject somehow, I had the feeling I'd be the butt of everyone's joke for the whole trip. So I tried to think of something harmless to talk about.
ああ、ジェシカ。クラウスおじさんと夏日おばさんは元気なのかよ。
That's a good question.
親父とおふくろ？
Yeah.
残念ながら元気だぜ。
Unfortunately, what does that
二言目に
mean?
は勉強しろ勉強しろってうるせえけどよ。
Okay.
秀吉おじさんとかルドルフおじさんとかそういうこと言わなそうだから羨ましいぜ。
Well, being concerned parents is not a bad thing.
とんでもない。僕も受験を控えてた頃はいっつも受験って言われうるさくも思ったけど、今は感謝してるよ。
Is she just at that stage where she just
やっぱりジョージ兄貴は人
is
間がで
angry
き
at
て
her
るな。
parents for wanting her to do that stuff? That's just
ちなみにうちは絶賛なんにも言われないぜ。まあ言われたって聞かねえけどな。
バトラさんは
Yeah, I forget what this is about.
うん。まあちょくちょく戻るようには。
Okay.
まだ服とかだいぶ前の家に残してるんで。
おお？バトラ、お家が2つある？
Yeah, he does.
まあな。
どうしてお家が2つ？
The fucking ooze. Oh, fuck. Only Maria, who couldn't really grasp at the situation, voiced this naive question. However, the others just shot nervous glances at me, choosing not to respond even though they knew the answer.
マヤ！ほら、船着き場が見えてきたぜ。ほら。
What is the answer? Wait, did I fucking learn about this and not remember? Fuck.
見えるか？船着き場見えた！船着き場見えた！
Apparently, Jessica was trying to be nice by changing the subject. Ah, well. I'd rather not talk about it if I can help it. But it's uncomfortable to have it treated like some kind of weird taboo. I don't mind it that much myself anymore. I may be a member of the Ushiromiya family, but the truth is that for the last 6 years I've been living with my grandparents on my late mother's side, and I've even been using her family name. When those grandparents passed away one after the other, I basically had no choice but to go back and live with the old bastard. Don't get me wrong, I didn't just run away from home or anything like that. The only one at fault here is my dad. I don't really blame Kairi-san. Being able to hold that old bastard's reins and ride him out is no mean feat. Still, the way that old bastard betrayed my mom. Fuck, I don't remember this at all. Well, unfortunately, I still haven't fully gotten over that. God damn it.
もうすぐ着くね。
George Aniki cleared his throat, trying to change the subject.
失礼しました。年寄りが余計なことを言ってしまったようで、お気に障りましたら。
気にもしてないし、触ってもないぜ。気にすんなよ、熊沢のばあちゃん。
I'm not sure what her role is. Like, She's part of the staff for the mansion, but I don't know. I feel like everyone's role, like, until I know otherwise, I'm just assuming that everyone's role is much bigger than I initially perceive. Just because this is like a 150-hour visual novel, like, I'm just gonna assume that there's more to everyone than meets the eye. I think is how I'm going through this, how I'm gonna, like, look at every character as they get introduced. Is that what we see on the surface is definitely not all there is. Is how I'm looking at it all. After that, I had a sip of my drink and headed over to Maria and Jessica, who were gazing at the silhouette of the island. There's the
どれどれ。おお、見えてきたな。6年ぶりでも記憶と寸分変わらない島影だぜ。
There's the island. A small island silhouette in front of us had gotten pretty close. This island's name is Rokkenjima. It's a small island about 10 kilometers across, located in the Izu archipelago. Since they call this archipelago the Izu 7, lots of people think there are only 7 islands, but that's not true. There's actually several more, and Rokkenjima is one of the minor islands that don't get counted. Even if that weren't the case, I doubt you'd find many people who knew about this island. Only people connected to the Ushiromiya family, ever go there. In other words, outsiders and tourists never have any reason to care about it. So you'll never find this island's name in the travel brochure. After all of the Rokkenjima is an estate possessed by the Ushiromiya head family. Only the Ushiromiya family lives there, and only people connected to the Ushiromiya family come and go to, and blah blah blah. Only the people connected to the Ushiromiya family come and go to and from there. There's nothing except a harbor and a mansion. The vast majority of the island is just an uncultivated forest. Such a waste when it could be made into a nice golf course or something. Wait, is that Battler's thoughts? Or is that, like, the author's thoughts? Such a waste when it could be made into a nice golf course. Is that Battler's idea of, like, a good use of land? Like, I'd really love for this island to be made into a golf course. Is that him talking? Because we've been in Battler's first person for so long. That's a strange thing for him to say. Like, oh my god, golf course right here. I don't know. As far as I know about him, that seems like a strange thing to say. However, when you realize the entire coastline is a private beach, it starts to sound pretty magnificent. You've probably guessed by now, but to put it simply, well, the Ushiromiya family is just rolling in dough. The head family apparently possesses a vast fortune, and Dad and the others who make up the branch families have been built up plenty of wealth for themselves, finding success in their respective businesses. I've been living a commoner's life at my grandparents' home these 6 years, so I'd completely forgotten. But the old bastard's house is really elegant, and everything about it is tuned to match the snobbish tastes of the annoyingly rich. Come to think of it, I guess that makes George Anarchy, Jessica, Maria, and me wealthy, high-class gentlemen and ladies. Needless to say, none of us think of ourselves that way at all. I don't see myself as being rich, and George Anarchy, who takes self-discipline very seriously, doesn't let himself get too comfortable. Jessica's always complaining that she'd rather move to the city than be rich, and Maria's still a kid who doesn't have an interest in money at all. Does that attitude really make us any less snobbish? From the perspective of people in poverty who can't pay the bills, we really have been blessed a lot. This isn't the place to explain any further, so I won't. Anyway, it's the same as not being able to choose the parents you're born from. I didn't ask to be born to a rich family, and I don't think it's really something to be envied. It can be pretty trying when people are prejudiced against you just because you're rich and refuse to judge you by your merits. As I pondered these sentimental thoughts, Maria started shouting and leaning over the railing. Oh, she has some, like, strange... Maria kept yelling, "Gone, gone." At first it sounded like as though she had dropped something, but while she shouted, she also pointed out of the ocean. She notices like a shrine gone, I think? I think? If she dropped something, she would probably have looked down at the floor, but Maria was pointing out over the ocean. One would assume by that gesture that she had spotted something, but she kept saying that something wasn't there. Strange. However, since my last memories of this place came from 6 years ago, I was able to spot it before Anarchy, who comes here every year. Ooh. A tori.
そうだ、確かにあったぜ。島に近づいてくると最初に迎えてくれる目印みたいなもんだったからよく覚えてるぜ。
へえ、バトラすごいじゃねえか。6年ぶりなのによく覚えてるもんだぜ。
Is that really important? It might be.
僕も思い出したよ。鎮守の社と鳥居みたいなものが。
A god shrine missing from the island that used to be there. Does that spell disaster? I don't know. Maria seems really affected by it, though.
大方、波か何かでさらわれちまったんだろう。小さい岩だったしな。
Yeah, it's probably
噴火
not
で脆くなってたんだろうさ。
as small a deal as you're making it.
私もそうだと思ってるんだけどよ。亡くなっちゃったのはこの夏のことなんだよ。なんでもよ。
ある晩に大きな稲妻が落ちて。
Then the creepy lady comes on the scene to give the old story, like, there once was a time when the shrine was on the island, but then the lightning struck.
不吉の兆しに違いない。漁民たちはささやいておりますね。
God damn it. Why she gotta be so, like... Oops. Didn't even read that. Kumasama-san smiled impishly as if teasing us, rubbing her hands together, while intoning a Japanese phrase meant to ward off lightning. However, Maria apparently took this seriously and stared fixedly over the ocean to where the crag housing the shrine god was supposed to be. Why is she taking this more seriously than anyone? What does she know? Like, why is she getting like a better sense of this than anyone? She knows that something's up.
マリアはそういう冗談の通じない年頃なんだからさ。
大丈夫だよ、マリアちゃん。偶然だよ。何も怖いことなんか起きないよ。
Yeah, you can say that, but I think Maria gets something here that no one else is. What? Maria muttered that word over and over. Apparently repeating a single word over and over is a habit that Maria's had for a long time. However, since the word she was saying was literally an ill omen, it was a bit creepy. I don't feel good about that. Like, that's weird. I tapped Maria's other shoulder. Maria whipped her head around, stared into my face, and spoke unblinkingly. God damn. I feel like this is like... How does she know? But I know misfortune is coming in this visual novel. Like, I get it. But how does she know? What is going on with her? I don't know. Not one bit. Of course, no one's gonna take her seriously. I answered lightheartedly, trying to break the tension in the air. At that moment, Maria held up a finger, raised her arm high, and pointed up to the heavens. When I looked up, I saw the sky was still just as cloudy, but it had grown a great deal more leaden than it had been that morning. That's right. They were saying that a typhoon was approaching. We had planned to spend one night on the island, but if the storm doesn't pass quickly, I won't be able to make it to school on Monday. No, you're not fucking making it to school on Monday. Let me just say that now. There's no way you're making it to school on Monday. Well, I guess it makes for a pretty good excuse to be absent. What insight does Maria have into this? She apparently sensed some kind of misfortune in the cloudy sky. She's been muttering that nonstop for a while now. That's creepy. That's creepy. She just keeps muttering it and pointing at the sky. Girls at Maria's age tend to be very impressionable. She's just about the age that many girls start to get excited about the sixth senses and where they have any psychic potential and stuff. No, that's not what's going on here. For all we know, this might be due to her childish, sensitive nature. No, that's not what's going on here. She's not just being immature.
大丈夫だよ、マリアちゃん。天気は今夜くらいには崩れるかもしれないけど、明日には良くなって綺麗な青空になってるよ。
綺麗な青空。
What was going on with her?
そう、明日になれば綺麗な青空になるよ。止まない雨はないし、晴れない雲だってない。
She doesn't look impressed.
止まない雨、晴れない雲。
Oh my god.
確かに台風が近づいてるけどよ。すぐに過ぎちまうって。大丈夫さ、マリア。
She looks upset. That's a really upset sprite face. Let me just say. Is she like worried about everything that's about to happen? Like, I don't know what's about to happen, but I assume it's going to be dark and weird and everything, and she almost seems like she's like warding against it. Like she's like, let's not do this. Maria started yelling. It looked as though she was having a tantrum because no one could understand what she was trying to say. What in the world is Maria trying so desperately to warn us about? I don't know, maybe like the next 200 hours of the novel? Unable to understand her, we couldn't help but feel a vague sense of misfortune. I've heard that everyone can feel the supernatural, but that it weakens as you age. That might mean that Maria, the youngest one of us all, still possessed some kind of sense that the rest of us had lost. I wonder if that sense is sending her a warning. At that moment, Kumasawa-san quietly opened her mouth. Are you telling more stories? I thought we just went over how you should stop. Yeah, chill. Just as Kumasawa-san was about to tell some kind of story, Jessica sharply interrupted her. Jessica's tone was extremely firm for her. Yeah, I mean, what's wrong with you? There's clearly a disturbed child on the fucking boat. Why are you trying to, like, with your smug-ass face, trying to tell bullshit? God damn it. I wanted to push her further, just out of simple curiosity. No, Battler, fuck you. Just stop. But judging by the look on Jessica's face, whatever Kumasawa-Bachan was about to say would probably make Maria even more uneasy. Exactly. Just stop. Stop trying to fuck with the child's mind. Jesus. If I did try to press her for the story, the odds were pretty good that it wouldn't be anything bright and cheery. Thank you for letting up. Gossipers have no reason to hang around after they've been told to stop chatting. When Kumasawa-san had finally realized that she'd overstepped her bounds, she went back inside the boat. After she left, Uncle Hideyoshi showed up in her place. Best boy showing up. Since he'd arrived mid-conversation, he completely failed to notice the complicated atmosphere that had hung around the scene. So he refreshingly and unwittingly swept that atmosphere aside. So in the end, it was this lack of tact that brightened the mood. Oh my god, best boy. Right here. Oh. Every time he talks, I just like, hell yeah. You the man.
今日はのんびりスピードだから時間がかかってもうたわ。誰のせいやねん。
Is he gonna turn out to be awful? If he does, I'm gonna be so upset. I'm gonna be so upset if he turns out to be like an awful person or something.
もっと言ってやってください。たく、バトラのせいで時間かかりすぎだぜ。
Oh. She wasn't taken seriously. Maria probably thought that everyone was refusing to listen to her. Yeah, it's kind of frustrating, but only from a reader standpoint. From a standpoint of a character actually in the story, there's no reason why you would take her rambling seriously. There's no reason at all. But just knowing as a reader, as someone who knows that things are going to get fucked and maybe what she says has some weight to it, that's the only reason why it's frustrating here. She hung her head, wearing a fretful expression. As she did, George Aniki crouched down to meet her eyes and spoke to her kindly.
Maria-chan, 何も怖くないよ。
Yeah, I don't believe that.
僕たちが一緒だもの。
No. I think that's why there's a reason to be afraid, because everyone's fucking insane.
一緒だと何も怖くないんだよ。言ってごらん。
一緒だと何も怖くない。
I don't believe that at all. Maybe the younger sibling, the younger siblings, everyone's children, maybe the grandchildren. Maybe they're okay, but I think the parents, at least the people in the main family have all a twisted side to them. Maybe, I think.
一緒だと何も怖くない。
I also think Maria has a twisted side to her. Like, out of all the siblings, if I had to pick someone who wasn't showing their true face, I think Maria is it. Maybe it's merely the fucking picture from the opening where she had blood on her face. I don't know if that completely, took over my thought process as far as Maria goes, but I can't get that out of my head.
間違いないぜ。ジョージ兄さんの言うことはいつも本当だよ、マリア。ジョージお兄ちゃんはいつも本当。
僕は嘘をつかないよ。だから信じて、みんなと一緒にいれば何も怖くないんだよ。
信じる。みんなと一緒にいれば怖くない。怖くない。
Don't tell her to forget about her really important judgment. After Aniki patted her on the head, she jumped away. Her facial expression had undergone a 180-degree change, turning back to normal. She was once again the ordinary Maria.
Maria, なんや、どうしたんや。マリアちゃん、船酔いだったんか。まあ
そんなとこです。申し訳つきますね。
A whole cousin scene. I like it. Oh, we're transitioning. Was it 10:30? 10:30 in the morning? The boat gave a big shudder. Seeing if we docked at the harbor. The boat driver came out and jumped to the pier with the mooring rope. A large man in a tuxedo was waiting for us with a warm smile. I didn't recognize his face, but judging by his clothes, I guessed he was a servant of the Ushiromiya head houseload. Toshiro! Gora Toshiro. I do remember this boy, at least in name, but aside from that, nothing really.
だいぶ遅かったので心配しておりました。
心配ありがとう。ウドの大木が怖がっちゃってよ。それで徐行運転だった。マジでうぜえぜ。
うるせえ。いつか逆の立場になったら覚えてろ。
Yeah, when I know your secret. That's his thing. At this rate, word will spread to the whole family, and I'll be the big conversation piece during dinner. I think they got more important things to talk about, to be honest, Battler. I think that's the case. Even without this, everyone would be talking about me because of that 6-year gap. But now, I've given them an even juicier topic. Damn it. Why does this Ushiromiya head family have to live on this isolated island? In the meantime, the boat had finished its mooring. A small plank was lowered so that we could get down. One by one, our parents came up from inside the boat.
皆様、長旅お疲れ様でした。奥様、お手をどうぞ。
ありがとう。お久しぶりね。ゴーダさんもお元気？
Okay, so he's been around for a while.
ありがとうございま
A
す。
year.
おかげさまで毎日元気にお勤めをさせていただいております。
バトラ君はゴーダさんとは初対面じゃない？
I guess he could have been around for potentially 6 years. If it's his first time meeting him, he can't be more than 6 years a staff member.
確か6年前はお勤めじゃなかったですよね。
Well, there you go. Exactly what I said.
はい。ですので、バトラ様とは初めてご挨拶させていただき、はじめまして、バトラ様。
俺もタッパには多少の自信があったんだが、で、紛れもなく初対面だぜ。こんな大男、あったら絶対忘れないさ。
5'11" guy meeting a 6-foot guy.
どうも、
It's like, oh
はじめまして。
my god.
バトラス。
お待ち申し上げておりました。一昨年から後ろ宮本家にお仕えさせていただいております使用人のゴーダと申します。どうぞよろしくお願いいたします。何かご用命がございましたらいつでもお申し付けください。
ゴーダさん、お久しぶりです。
ジョージ様、ご無沙汰をいたしております。お手をどうぞ。
あんた相変わらず大した設計。もし職に困ったらいつでもわしに声をかけるんや。いつでも雇ったろ。
これは身に余る光栄です。
Oh my god.
どうぞお手を、秀吉様。
Everyone loves this fucking butler. Goda-san then lent a hand to everyone as they disembarked, greeting them as they passed. His speech and mannerisms had the refined polish of a professional. He was very graceful in contrast with his initially tough-looking appearance. His large size made him seem a bit scary at first, but he was much more polite than the first impression he led me to believe. He claimed to have served on the island for 2 years, but he had doubtless worked at a similar job for somewhere before. After everyone disembarked, the mooring rope was untied, and the boat started to steer away from the harbor. It was probably returning to its home port on Nijima. The captain waved his hand in farewell. Maria conscientiously waved her hand back.
なんだかさっきから違和感があると思ったら、海猫の声を聞いてないぜ。
Oh, no Uminekos. Umineko?
鳥のか?
What? Why are you talking about them? If I remember correctly, whenever we came to this island in the past, the Uminekos always greeted us with their lively nya-nya cries. Because of that, whenever I heard the cries of the seagulls anywhere else, I always got the feeling that I'm coming to a family conference. Except for the small part of the island where those of the Ushiromiya had family live. Rokkenjima was left uncultivated, which apparently makes it a paradise for wild birds. Supposedly there was a cliff somewhere that housed a huge seagull colony, so this island was always full of seagulls. Not having those seagulls here to greet us made me feel a bit lonely. Interesting. Why would they be gone? I don't... Is there an actual story reason behind why the seagulls are no longer there?